Hello, children. Today we are here for the English literature class and we will be doing chapter number 9 Gulliver in Lilliput. Children, Gulliver in Lilliput has been taken from the Gulliver's Travel written by Jonathan Swift. Lemuel Gulliver is accepted as the ship's doctor and set out for his first sea journey. When the ship is caught and destroyed in a storm, Gulliver saves himself and swims to the nearest shore. He finds himself in a strange land of Lilliput, or the land of little people. So, children, when Gulliver woke up, okay, so it was dawn and he tried to rise, but he was unable to move his body. What was wrong with him? He thought, okay, so he was just lying on his back and could not look anywhere except for upwards. All right. His arms and legs were firmly tied to the ground with ropes. Even his long, thick hair was tied down. He felt several thin straps across his body, from his armpits to his thighs. So he was very firmly tied. Okay. The sun began to grow hot and the light hurt his eyes. He heard noises around him, but he could see nothing except the sky because he could not move his head or body. Okay. Suddenly he felt something moving up his left leg. It moved gently forward over his chest till it came up almost his chin. All right. Then he saw the strangest of sight. It was a tiny human creature about 6 inches high, with a bow and arrow in his hands and quiver on its back. Another 40 of them came up to his body in utter astonishment. He roared aloud. Who roared aloud, children? Gulliver, okay? He roared aloud. They jumped back in fright. And later on, Gulliver was told that some of them hurt themselves when they toppled from Gulliver's body. However, they returned soon. One of them dared to come up to his face. He lifted up his head and eyes in admiration and cried out in a shrill voice. The others repeated the same words several times, but Gulliver could not understand any of the words and he could not understand what they meant. All right. He struggled to let loose and managed to break a rope and pulled out the pegs that held his left arm to the ground. With a painful pull, he loosened his strings that tied down his hair on the left side so that he could turn his head slightly. Before he could catch one of them, the creatures ran off. A great shout went up from the crowd. Immediately, 100 arrows hit Gulliver on his left hand. Okay, they pricked him like hot needles. Some fell on his face, which he covered with his left hand because his left hand was now free. Okay, he began groaning loudly in pain. He tried to loosen himself once again, but of the tiny people tried to stick spears on his sides. Luckily, he was wearing a leather jacket, which they could not pierce. All right, children. Gulliver felt he could easily free himself and challenge their army. But he decided that it was wise for him to just lie down still and not to challenge them. Okay. At once they stopped their arrows. When they saw that Gulliver was not doing anything, he was not trying to move, he was not trying to free himself. So what did they do? They stopped their arrows. Due to the groaning sound around Gulliver, okay, Gulliver knew that there were more little people had arrived. More little people had come, okay. About 4 yards from Gulliver, near his right ear, he heard a knocking and banging like people were at work, all right. He turned his head as much as he could because his head was tied. So, as much as he could turn his head, he tried to turn his head. He saw them putting up a stage with 2, 3 ladders on the side. A well-dressed man climbed onto the stage to make a long speech with many actions. Gulliver mumbled a few words in reply and showed that he would be obedient. He promised that he would not hurt them. He then made signs to show that he was hungry and he needed food. He even put his fingers to his mouth to show them that he was feeling hungry, because Gulliver could not understand their language and they could also not understand Gulliver's language. Okay, so he had to make sign language to make them understand that he was hungry. All right, so the great lord understood Gulliver very well, and he commanded his men to place several ladders on his side. 100 tiny men mounted and walked towards Gulliver's mouth with basket full of meat. He ate them in 2 or 3 mouthfuls with bread. The size of the bullets, because children, they were tiny people, so the size of their bread was also very small. So they were just like little bullets for Gulliver. They supplied him as fast as they could, shouting in wonder at the huge appetite of Gulliver. Then he made another sign that he wants to drink something. Okay, the clever people skillfully pushed one of their largest barrel. They understood that he was thirsty, he wanted something to drink, so they pushed the largest barrel and rolled it towards his mouth and removed the cap. Gulliver drank the liquid in a gulp. Okay, it was delicious. They brought me a second barrel, which I drank in the same way. I made signs for more, but they had no more to give me. The Gulliver is saying that he made signs that he wanted more drinks, okay, but they did not have any more left to give him. They were amazed at my appetite, and they danced upon Gulliver's chest and shouted. So they were very, very amazed at Gulliver's diet, because they were tiny people, so their appetite was also not much. Okay, they ate little, all right, and so they were very, very amazed that he has eaten everything. Okay, that so many of the little people were supposed to eat. Gulliver had eaten everything and he had drunk everything. Okay, so nothing was left with them, so they were amazed with the appetite, and so they were dancing and shouting on his chest. All right, so Gulliver is saying that these tiny people had treated him so well. Okay, so surely he owed them some gratitude for their kindness. So Gulliver felt that these tiny souls were very, very courageous. How bold were they to climb and walk on his body. He says that how bold were they to walk on my body. Okay, because they were not even scared that Gulliver would hurt them. One of my hands was still free to harm them, but they walked without fear, without trembling at the sight of a gigantic creature. Is that clear, children? So, I hope the story is clear to you. You all have understood it. Thank you.